In this lesson, we'll look at commenting our CSS code. Now, we've touched on commenting a bit already, but let's expand upon this and see how commenting can help us in the design process for building our HTML pages. Now, when I look at this code in TextEdit, it's relatively clear what we're doing because we've been working on this file recently. But let's say you go away on vacation, and then you come back 2 weeks later and you look at this page and say, what was I doing when I made this page? We can help ourselves understand what we're coding in our pages by essentially embedding notes to ourselves inside our pages using commenting. Let's take a look at how we do this. We can see from our previous work that we grouped the H1 and H2 selectors together. I might want to put a note to myself, and I'll add a few returns with my keyboard and tab over a few times, and that note might read grouped selectors. Just a hint to myself telling me what I've been doing. And maybe I expand upon that note, grouped selectors, common formatting. Well, I need to pass some parameter to the browser to indicate to the browser that this is not actually style sheet rules. This is just a note to myself. The way that we'll do that is using commenting. To identify this block of text as a comment, we'll position our cursor before the first character that we wish to hide from the web browser and type a /, and then after that / we'll type an asterisk. And after the last character that we wish to hide from the browser, and when I say hide from the browser, I mean from the viewer's point of view. The browser will see everything in your code, but commenting deactivates lines of code from being displayed by the browser. Now I'll type an asterisk and a /. This combination of /asterisk and */ hides this block of code, or this block of text for our purposes, from being displayed inside the web browser. So if we save this file and save, switch over to our browser and hit reload, we shouldn't see anything. But just for certitude, to know that that file contains that information, from the View menu, select Page Source, I should see our comment is present inside the source of this page, but is not displayed to the viewer. And I might add a few more comments to this page to help me understand what these different blocks of code mean. I might put in independent selectors, unique formatting, and perhaps I want to have one more comment down here to explain what this red text class is. To remind me that this block of code and subsequent blocks of code in this area are classes to apply unique formatting. And just to make sure that these additional comments are working, I'll save my file, switch over to my browser, and I should see nothing appear. And from the View menu, I can view my page source, so I can see and know with confidence that my web browser is seeing my comments, which I can see here, but not displaying them. Now, you don't just have to use commenting to send notes to yourself. You can use comments as part of the design process to turn on and turn off blocks of code. Let's say for a moment that I wasn't sure whether I wanted this red text class to be part of my file. If I look in my web browser, I can see the words truly remarkable and the word free appear in red. But if I was on the fence about having red text inside my file, I might not want to go into each and every single instance where I've invoked that class and remove them. I might like to have, just for a moment, this rule turned off? Well, we can use comments to easily accomplish that. If I position my cursor before my red text rule and add a few returns, and I'll tab over a little bit, I can add a comment before this rule and add a comment after this rule, thereby deactivating this rule altogether. And I might indent this rule using tabs just so it's a little easier on my eye, so that I can see that this red text class is now commented out, and that's a phrase you'll hear a lot. Commented out of the code, essentially removing it. Even though the code is still present inside the page, it's now non-functional. If I switch over to my browser, and I think I saved real quick there as a reflex, but just want to call that out, File and Save. Hopefully saving very fast as a reflex you are developing. If I switch over to my browser and reload and refresh, I can see the red text is now deactivated. Inside the copy of my HTML, there are still references looking for that class, but the web browser is not displaying that class. Just because our HTML is looking for it, the HTML can't find it when loaded into a browser, and the browser displays to the best of its ability the HTML code that we've displayed. We've essentially accomplished, by turning off that CSS, a small mistake inside our page, but it's not one we intend to leave. We're just doing this for a quick analysis and say, nope, I like the red text, bring it back. And I can switch back over to my HTML, and if I think I want to bring it back but I'm not sure, maybe I just select and cut the closing comment and put it next to the opening comment. So I still have my comment syntax in my page, it's just not wrapped around anything. And because this comment block is not wrapped around any content, this red text class is now active again. If I save this file and switch over to my browser and reload, the red text class is now working again.